Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Timmy B, and with me is my good friend, co-host, and partner, UFC veteran Brian Bam Bam Barberina. Brian, before you say hit it, I want to remind people to go to FightLeagueAtlantic.com, order the pay-per-view, or you get your tickets now for FLA 20 goes down Saturday, June 7th in the Zatzman Sportsplex in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I will be there. You should be there. Bam Bam, we've got a crazy show with us today, man. Holy boy, our very first ever Power Slap competitor.
Yeah, gonna be awesome. Timmy B, let's go. Hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight Podcast.
I never thought I'd see the day, Bam Bam. Our guest right now is the number 3 ranked middleweight in Power Slap. He's gone a perfect 4-0 with the promotion since joining just last August. He's looking for the title, and he's looking to use his hand of God to get there, Bam Bam. Yeah. But first, he is here on the podcast, our first ever Power Slap competitor, hailing from Bristol, England, currently in Marmaris, Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Tarantula, Darren Godfrey. What's up, my man?
Yo, how we doing, guys? How we doing?
Doing great.
Good.
Glad to have you here.
The hand of God. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's see the damage hand.
That's the one and only.
Hold on. Our video.
There we go. Yes.
Oh, the video is glitching a little bit because you are so far away. You're in Turkey.
Yeah.
But dude, it is good to meet you, my man.
Yeah,
it's very nice to speak to you, boys. Been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too, man. Thank you so much. And look, let's make this a regular thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because you seem like a good dude. First question, very briefly, for the people that do not know who Darren Godfrey is, please let us know. Who's Darren Godfrey?
I'm the future of Power Slap middleweight division. That's who Darren Godfrey is, my boys.
Very nice. Where do you come from? What's your upbringing? How did you get into this?
I'm from a place called Bristol in England. I live in Shrewsbury at the moment, but I'm originally from Bristol. My upbringing was pretty rough, but you know what I mean. It was a council estate upbringing. You know what I mean? Since I was young, I always wanted to get myself out of the slums that I was living in. Do you know what I mean? And I chose the violence path. Do you know what I mean? I went through the boxing and the bare knuckle, and now I've reached Power Slap. Do you know what I mean? I was willing to do anything that I needed to do to get myself out of that situation, which I've done now. Do you know what I mean? I've given my now family a better life through what I'm doing. So that's a bit who I am.
Good for you, my man. And look, first ever Power Slap competitor on the program. I have not, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Bam Bam has not always been a fan of Power Slap. I'm going to say it that way.
I honestly haven't watched one yet. But
come on, you gotta watch
I'll say this. I'll watch you for the first one.
Brother.
First time ever. I'll watch you handle business.
There you go. But look, man, the first question I have to ask you, this is the question that everybody has. Why? Why are you doing Power Slap?
Basically, I'd done a bare knuckle fight a few years back, and I got dropped 3 times in the fight, and I came back to win it. So I actually got scouted. I didn't approach Power Slap; they approached me. I got scouted by, I suppose, one of Dana's assistants at the time. I basically had a message saying, "Oh, we've seen one of your bare knuckle fights, man. We've never seen the chin like it. Any chance you want to get involved in this crazy new sport Dana White's bringing out?" So I was like, "Mate, it's Dana White. Do you know what I mean? Everything that man touches is gold. Get me involved. Let's go." So that doesn't mean, and the rest is history, boys.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Did you know you had like the power in the slap, like the slap power to hit somebody, or what? Like,
yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I grew up having to look after myself. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. It was sometimes some situations you didn't always want to punch someone's teeth out. So I mean, there's many a times where I'll give people a clout just to get them away from me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew I had the power to knock someone out with a slap. Do you know what I mean? But the damage I'm doing in a minute. I think. I mean, the last couple it surprised me. You know what I mean? I think I've nailed the technique now, which is a big factor in this sport. You know what I mean? I've got my own technique, which naturally some people are actually trying to imitate at the minute, and it's not working so well for them. But yeah, for me, it works perfectly.
So how, like, okay, what is the training that you do for power slap? Because you can't possibly be standing in a gym letting people just slap the crap out of you to test your neck.
No, obviously I do a lot of jaw and neck training. Obviously, and I train like I do for any fight. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm training for a bare knuckle, like I'm training for boxing. Do you know what I mean? And then every now and then, at the end of every session, I've got a big bob, like do you know the big bob?
Yeah.
Oh, at the end of any training session, I work on my technique. I'll give him a few whacks. You know what I mean? His head's hanging off now, actually. So, I've actually have to sellotape his head on me, and Bob's had a bit of a. I mean, he's not happy with me at the moment. But
gotta get a new Bob.
I've just been working on the technique. Do you know what I mean? Working on my placement on my hand. Obviously, I know. Been in the fighting game many years now. Do you know what I mean? I know where the sweet spot is. Do you know what I mean? I think if every person I hit on that sweet spot with my technique right now, I think they'll all go to sleep.
So,
dude,
you're
I
training.
would say,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but like, I mean, I'm known for having a pretty good chin too, but to stand there and just take a slap, I think, I don't know, man, you're a different kind of tough. That's ballsy as shit.
Yeah, some say ballsy. I think a little crazy, but you know what I mean. It's one of them.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying.
I haven't watched. Yeah, I haven't watched. Do you like flip a coin to see who goes first? Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
The Valley Commission, they'll flip a coin. They see who goes first. I've never won a coin toss, so I've always been hit first.
Shit.
But I've also never gone past the first round. I've always KO'd him in one. So I mean,
hell yeah.
Winning the coin toss haven't really mattered to me at this moment. So I mean, it don't really matter.
Yeah.
All right, so you're training at your gym, right? You're a martial arts competitor, you're a boxer, bare knuckle fighter. Then you get scouted to do power slap. At any point, does your gym, your training partners, your coaches, your wife, does anyone go, no, this is terrible.
Like, I don't think you should do it.
Definitely not my wife, because power slap paid me quite well, so I'm not going to say no.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, there's some members of my family. Do you know what I mean? They're saying, like, do you know what I mean? Of all the crazy things you've done, do you know what I mean? Sticking your chin out and letting someone belt you as hard as you can is up there a bit, like, do you know what I mean? But mate, I mean, they know I enjoy it. I love it. Do you know what I mean? Violence has always been my thing, and you know, I mean, as long as I'm getting hit and getting to hit someone back, man, I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
I know that feeling.
I don't understand how the hell this can be legal. Like, there's a commission. Like, is there a commit? Okay, so one question that we had brought in: is there a commission? Is there drug testing?
Yes, there's vigorous drug testing. It's obviously the same sort of system as the UFC fighters are under. So you have vigorous drug testing, and I mean, anything that Dana does is done as legit as it can be. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's drug testing. There's all sorts of testing. There's healthcare. There's everything. Do you know what I mean? Everything that comes with it. To be honest, is absolutely great promotion to be involved in.
I mean, okay, well then, I mean, I'm going to skip to one of the questions as well, which is like, what, I don't know how to phrase this, but what is the payday here for you? Like, obviously you're saying the money is good.
Yeah.
So that's it, right? Like the money is good. Like a lot of people think that there's not a, but a lot of people think that the money's not good in this. And they're like, well, why would these guys do this? Because what is ultimately going to happen? I know one girl that really wants to do this. Okay. Yeah. And she's in the training thing or whatever it is. I don't know. There's some sort of contender series for power slap or whatever. Yeah. She really wants to do it. And I was saying to her, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, why would you do this? And she's like, oh, because of all the fame it will bring me, because of like the potential for like where it goes from there. For you, what do you want to use this to leverage into for you?
Obviously at the moment I'm picking up some good endorsements and things like that, some good sponsors, and do you know what I mean? You bring money in that way, but there's also, I mean, the contracts with Power Slap is, I mean, the better you get, the higher up the rankings you get, the more money you get. Do you know what I mean? It's the same as the UFC. The further you get, the more money you earn. You know what I mean? You get to that title shot. You're looking at some, you know what I mean, near enough life-changing money. So,
ultimately, you're looking
I know
the
some
title,
of the,
right?
I'm very close to the title now. Yeah, but no, I mean, I know some of the lads, obviously, in all the divisions that are carrying the belts now, their lives has been changed. So, do you know what I mean? To see that's enough of a goal for me.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah,
I mean, good for
that's
you.
great.
Look, what do you say to people that criticize Power Slap?
Yeah, don't knock it until you tried it. You know what I mean? It's what I am. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it takes a certain sort of person. Do you know what I mean? I know it's not for everyone. I know that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I get criticism. I mean, I get criticism just as much as I get. Do you know what I mean? Appraisal for it, but it's one of them. It's not for everybody. But I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. You don't. I mean, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to take part in it. Blah blah blah. But I mean, I know that at the moment, Power Slap are hitting more views than any other combat sport in the world. So there's a hell of a lot of people out there and really enjoying it.
Is that okay? Hold on. Is that real, or does Dana White pay you to say that?
No, this is legit. The numbers has been made. I mean, the numbers have been made. We're actually hitting more numbers than any combat sport in the world right now.
Because
Honestly,
is it?
I
I think it's on
see
his.
that.
I think it's
I
on.
actually hit 1.4 billion views in one slap in 24
Holy
hours.
crap! In 24
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, man, crazy.
God dang, that's insane.
That's
Crazy.
one
There's
point.
actually,
That's 1.4 total psychopaths.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's actually a press conference Dana done after the event. So yeah, probably less than 24 hours, and he said somebody hit 1.4 billion views, and this person said, was it Darren Godfrey? And Dana said, yes, it was.
Wow,
It's
that's
crazy.
insane. Dude, congratulations. That is
Wow, it's crazy,
awesome.
Man. Crazy.
That's wild.
If what you should do is charge each of those person $1 each.
Oh man, I wish.
Dude, 1.4 billion in your pocket, my man.
If only, brother.
Okay, here comes some questions from fans or from people that wrote in. This is a MMA fighter. He goes by Super Jew MMA, Mika Haas. I do follow this guy. His question: do you consider yourself a real athlete?
Of course I do. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, Power Slap is not the only thing that I've done. Do you know what I mean? I'm like 100 and something fights deep in my combat career. So yeah, I'm a real athlete. Yeah.
I like that answer because it's like, yeah, I'm doing this now, but I am a real athlete. I've competed, I've trained, you still
Yeah.
train now. Okay,
And
maybe
another thing, I know I still train like any other professional fighter in the world right now. Do you know what I mean? I
Right.
train a relentless animal. Do you know what I mean? I know professional boxers, professional MMA fighters that could not carry my weight in the gym at all. So I mean, I put the work in like a real athlete day in day out. So yeah, of course.
right. And I like that because Now let me flip that question a little bit. Is there anybody in Power Slap that is like a total bum off the street, or are all of you like athletes? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know. I'm not gonna say bum, but I know there's certain people in on the rosters that take it more serious than others.
More,
Do you know what I mean?
more what?
More serious than
Okay.
others.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might just be taking it for granted. I don't know, but do you know what I mean? The guys that I sort of mix with, they know what they can get out of it, and they're putting the work in.
Who's the biggest bum in Power Slap?
Why are you doing this to me?
Just call out. Like who's the biggest schlub in Power Slap?
Who's not worth watching?
Or like who do you think like just showing up for the paycheck, doesn't train, doesn't do anything? Give me that guy's name.
I went against the guy not long ago, but a while back, and he put his head down, and I hit him on the top of the head. So he cheated horribly. So I can't remember his fucking name. What's his
All right,
name?
we'll find it. We'll find his name.
Yeah, go find that sausage. It's probably him. Yeah.
Did you say go find that sausage?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I like about doing this podcast, man? I always pick up weird slang from like different people. So like, I think I've heard some few English people call people a sausage.
Yeah. There's a slang for you, boys.
There's an Irish guy. There's an Irish guy, Dennis Frimpong, who just won at Octagon 71 last weekend, and he calls people wagons. He calls them fucking wagons, and I love that, man.
That's definitely how Irish people say that is.
Yeah. Okay, Richard Vernon 3998 asks, when is the belt going around your waist?
As soon as I can get that contract in front of me, Richard, trust me, I'm calling for it. I'm literally screaming from the flipping rooftops for it at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's at the moment there's a fight where it might need to happen first. It's a rematch with someone. He's going for a rematch, so this might need to happen first, and hopefully this will be a total eliminator. So maybe fight after next.
Well, you're obviously referring to the Chief.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that man, he was messaging me before about your interview coming on here too. He's talking.
I thought he might.
But look, man, this we did get it from Open IP04. I'm just trying to give credit to some people. You versus the Chief 2 Power Slap 12? Question mark? Exclamation mark?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, there's been talks, but I know it could potentially be happening. So yeah,
sure.
I hope so. I'd like to put this to bed on. I'm like I say, I'm a fighting man. Chief wants to rematch. You know what I mean? He feels like he didn't get the result he wanted. Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I mean, for me, it's going to be a different night, same result. We move on and we get a total shot.
Yeah,
and nothing's official. Nothing's official at the moment, but
nothing's official at the moment. But I mean, it's a fight that I know. Obviously, everyone knows he wants. I mean, I need to honour that. I'm a fighting man. I need to honour it. So it is what it is. If they want us to put the contract in front of me, then I'll sign it.
Yeah, and good for you, dude, because there's a little bit of controversy in that fight or whatever on his end.
Yeah,
he wants to say that, and that's like I said, he goes by the Chief, but it's Kali.
Yeah, I actually respect the Chief.
Anakoa.
He's another fighting man, just like me. Do you know what I mean? Came from the same sort of background. He's MMA and bare knuckles. Do you know what I mean? We're both fighting men. We both carry a lot of honor with us. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I think if it was the other way around, I think he'd honor me the rematch. I mean, so do you know what I mean? It's only right for me to do the same.
Yeah. Now, if he is watching, and I feel like he will be watching, regardless of your hotel's terrible Wi-Fi, speak to the Chief and tell him what you're about to do to him.
Chief, my brother, it's just going to be this different night, same result. But all respect, let's get this contract signed. Let's give the fucking world what they want. Let's go. You
didn't even call him a sausage.
Nah, I've actually got respect for the fella.
Nice, all right.
He's a good lad. We get on off the stage, but you know what I mean. When we get out there, we both know we're killers, and I mean there can only be one. Do you know what I mean?
Gotta handle business.
We're both feared in our division. I know that. Do you know what I mean? And there can only be one.
You know, here's the thing. A lot of times people use that term, there can only be one, and that's obviously from the Highlander movies, right?
I don't know. I've just made that up.
Wait, you don't know that?
Yes.
I don't know. I ain't seen the Highlander.
Are you serious? You got to watch
the Highlander.
Oh my God, the Highlander 1 and 2, dude, those movies, I grew up on those. It's where it's like they're immortals, and the only way you can kill them is by chopping their head off with a sword. And then when you chop
I like the sound of it, huh?
Dude, go watch those movies, man. It's incredible. Anyways, there's no better use for this term now in sports than in Power Slap, because you are literally smacking the heads off people. Who was this that asked this? Hold on. Kev Austin 57 wrote, "Has he woke up yet?" And I think he's talking about that video of the Chief. Dude, that was a very nasty knockout.
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah.
Explain to me though, explain to the fans, when you're slapping the dude, are you trying to go with the palm of your hand to the jaw? Like, explain to me, how can I be a successful power slap?
Yeah, sort of palm, but I try to rock the head, if you know what I mean. Like, I mean, I don't know if you know, like the sweet button of the jaw. I try to tuck my hand just slightly under, so you get the twist of the neck.
Okay.
And
Wait. So,
if you watch that KO, you will see that I've hit his jaw, but I've turned his head. So mainly, you also shake the brain.
okay, hold on. Because your video is not great and I can't see exactly what you're doing. But are you saying you're not coming like straight across? You're kind of coming a little bit at
Yeah,
He's
I'm coming
underneath
straight across, but I mean, trying to spin the head as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't want to give away too many of my.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Look,
absolutely.
Yeah. I've got my own thing going on. Do you know what I mean? I call it we call it a lean on one. Do you know what I mean? I don't do no wind ups. I just place my hand. I do a weight shift, so I shift my body over to one side, bring it back, and then rock it straight through to where I started.
Okay. I have a question on that. Do you have to do like the whole one?
No. I don't do the 1, 2. I don't count. I go on one. So I put my hand out, lean back. One, done.
Damn.
One and done.
Hell, shit.
I feel like the commentators hate you when you do that, because when I watch yours, and you always do on one, so you measure, right? So you have to hold it there, and then the guy can't move his head, and then he goes back and just whack. But the commentators hate it, and I think because it takes away some of the drama, right?
Yeah,
like when you
definitely.
see the like this, it kind
But
of moves
shit,
in.
then he hits and they fall over. I mean, that's all the drama you need to have right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
That's
yes.
it.
Well,
I'm giving them magic. I'm sparking them out. I mean, that's all the drama they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this person wrote this question in, and I feel like they are extremely biased. They said, "Will you laugh in his face when you KO him once again?" And this is from someone you may know, Kimberly Godfrey.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, but I'll be respectful like I always am. Do you know what I mean? My wife's a bad girl.
That is your dear wife,
No,
right?
I might have to slap her when I get there. Do you know what I mean?
Now wait, you have a beautiful wife and you have children?
Yeah, I've got 4 children.
Oh my
Awesome.
goodness.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Dude, how old are your children?
I only got a little Willie, but he feels they prams. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, I might have missed that. What?
He said I only got a little Willie, but he feels they prams.
All right.
I've got a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 10-month-old.
Is this a problem for your children? Because when they go to their schoolyard and they go, "My dad's a power slap champion," are they not like slapping their classmates around? Like, how much do you have to discipline the kids?
I don't know. I teach all my kids if they get hit, you hit them back. But no, I don't teach my boys to slap. They know how to punch.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
But the way that you're slapping, though, again, like I'm trying to say, that it's more like a Bass Rutten hit, no? Like, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose. You know what I mean? I suppose it's an open hand hook.
It's really just like trying to get the head to turn it with it too. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of force going behind it. A more solid slap than just like a little, whack.
I tried to go through their head. You know what I mean? I'm not aiming for that.
Right.
So I'm aiming way past it.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? That's another thing, man. Coming from a total zero in the power slap world, when they complain that like some people might move their head off center, right? Which because you're not allowed to flinch and all that. And yes, okay, but naturally, right? Like just
this was actually the controversy I had with the Chiefs. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So psychologically,
this rematch is it should happen. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's
right.
It's hard to do. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Letting someone smash you in the face. You know what I mean?
Dude, I flinch when I'm watching your fights. You know what I mean? Like if I'm literally but here I want to say this though. Like you just said, you're trying to slap through the face, right? Like slap through that point. Yeah. So like technically, even if the person flinches a bit, right? You should still be trying to go through the friggin' head. Like,
oh god, yeah.
So like it really shouldn't matter unless the person pulls away like back or like makes you miss. I don't know, man. Yeah. I get it. Other questions. I want to make sure I get all of them. Who's your power slap BFF? This is from the CESARG.
I've got a few good friends in power slap, to be honest. There's Pono I get on well with, Caesar. I got a few good friends. So, I mean, obviously, I done the power slap road to the total house where I stayed in their house, like the Ultimate Fighter things with a lot of guys, and obviously a lot of us got really close. So I mean, there's a few guys. I wouldn't like to keep naming a lot of them because I mean, there's a select few that I speak to regularly, and I will call them all good friends.
Nice, dude. That's awesome, man. This is from our good friend Matt Padilla, MMA. He's a MMA fighter out in California. Do random people ask you to slap them after finding out you're on the power slap roster?
Yes, they do.
I thought so.
Idiots.
Or they ask if they can slap me, and I just say, yeah, that's fine as long as I can slap you back, and then they change their mind.
Have you?
I go, no, I don't want you to hit me back. Well, you just want to hit me, then? Is that what you're trying to say? No, that's not happening, brother.
Because look, I'll tell you, man, it's way different than when you go up to like a Muay Thai fighter or an MMA fighter and say, give me a leg kick or punch me in the stomach or something, versus just, hey, dude, come and slap me with the hand of God in my face. Have you ever done it?
Yeah, have you?
No, I actually haven't. Just the simple reason is, I mean, I think I'd probably get arrested.
Yeah.
I would be scared. I would be scared that like someone like tried to sue me or something.
I think that would be maybe some of these people, that's what they're trying to do, but I haven't done it, no.
This is from Crew Benson out in Toronto. He runs Virtue Muay Thai. I just commentated his very first Muay Thai event out here. It was for Ish Promotions. Great guy, Crew Benson. He asks, I always wanted to know if you make sure to fully empty the urine tank before a slap battle.
Yeah, I do, mate. Yeah, just in case. Do you know what I mean?
You gotta push it out, right? Like, make sure.
Case. Nothing. No one wants to be up on stage getting spout that shit in your pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely.
Yeah. You know, Bam Bam, when we've had on Cutwoman Swayze Valentine from the UFC Tarantula, I don't know if you know the female Cutwoman, Swayze Valentine.
No.
How do people not know her, Bam? I really, okay, well, you're a married man, so maybe that's why, because you're a good married man. But anyways, she tells us that quite a few times in the UFC, in the corners or in like other organizations, a lot of people have accidents in their pants while they're fighting. So, pretty gross. But this person asked, why is your little brother massive? He does not like that question. Is he gone? He's having a family problem with his little brother. What's going on? Okay, he is in right now. Oh, okay, yeah, his screen is. Oh, there you go. There you go, my man.
We're back.
Yeah, all right. Next question, my friend. Why is your little brother massive?
My little brothers wrote that, right?
What's that?
My little brothers wrote that in, hasn't he?
I don't. You know what? That one is glitched out on me, and I can't see who wrote that. Hold on.
That's my that's my little brother. He's not massive. He's not as big as me, all right?
No.
No.
What does your little brother do? Oh yeah, Godfrey Jack 91. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a weightlifter.
Okay.
He is pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? He is pretty big. But
all right, good.
I'm not gonna big him up too much.
Hold on. What's some of these other ones? Give me 1 sec. I got other ones. Hold on. Chris. Oh my goodness. Chris Smore ODM plus 100 gorillas versus Darren. Who wins?
Me.
Obviously.
No,
Just
100.
bam, bam.
This is the new thing that's going around at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think one gorilla would be enough. I don't think I want to fight 100.
But if you have to, Darren, the hand of God can go 100 times.
Yeah, we
knockouts.
can keep going. We can keep going until my arm falls off. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be a tough one.
It's very good, man. Now, look, your nickname is the Tarantula for all intents and purposes. When I look at it, you wrote it here yourself. You put Tarantula down there. But the hand of God, is that what the power slap people have started nicknaming you? And are you gonna transition to that?
It actually is. It was Michael Bisping that actually started that. I can't remember who it was. One of the first fights, one of my first KOs. Obviously, my name is Darren Godfrey, so I think he got it from the hand of Godfrey. Yeah. So I mean, it is. He started shouting the hand of God every time I knock someone out. So yeah, it's starting to stick now, and obviously I'm getting people making merch with hand of God and I mean on it. So yeah, I mean the tarantula is something I would always stick with. But yeah, if the hand of God is what the fans want, then the hand of God it shall be.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get the nickname the Tarantula?
I used to have dreadlocks.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was sparring, I had my head guards on. I used to put my dreadlocks at the top.
Yeah.
And everyone used to say it was like I had a big tarantula on top of my head. So I mean that it just stuck from my early boxing days. So yeah, it was the tarantula for years. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's cool.
Is your wife happy that the dreadlocks are gone?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. she was actually the one that cut them off.
Oh yeah, in your sleep, your sleep, or did you know what was happening?
No. After years of begging, I just let her. She's actually a hairdresser, so she took pride in that. She took pride in that. Yeah.
You were destroying her business with the dreadlocks. She's like, look.
Mate, she destroyed me when she cut them off, man. I nearly started crying. It was like 11 years in the making, bro. It was very sad.
Man. That's crazy, dude. No, well, I mean, it's crazy because you're a very handsome dude. So I can't imagine you with like dreadlocks.
Now I gotta go find a dreadlock picture of you.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah.
If you go down through my Instagram, you'll see when I used to fight with my dreadlocks and that. Yeah, you'll see.
All right, no, we will. And look, I put it up on the screen below before. Make sure, like, if you're only listening on audio, this is the Tarantula Darren Godfrey. You find him at Darren Godfrey Jr. JNR.
Yes, sir.
Darren, a couple more questions. I apologize. I'm keeping you a little bit long.
No, that's good. It's good. Let's do it.
Look, I was looking for the saying, you know, when people go more useless than blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was looking up a few. More useless than a turn signal on a BMW. That's racist, by the way. More useless than tits on a boar hog. More useless than a cardboard fridge. More useless than a clear crayon. More useless than a celibate hooker. Look, here's my thing. Is there anything more useless than the two guys that stand behind the power slap people to catch them? I have never seen them catch anyone.
More useless than a chocolate teapot.
There you go. That's the English version. See? There you go. But Darren, why do these guys never catch anyone? The guy falls, smacks his head on the ground, and then they go.
I don't know, but I don't know. All I think is if I hope one day if it happens to me, I hope they catch me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Whip the head back.
Look, no offense, but do not have. Well, it doesn't matter, dude. You're not going out and you're going to win. You're going to be the champion. You're going to go undefeated.
Oh, yes.
But look, just, never have Forrest Griffin behind you. That dude has never caught anyone. If anything, the person falls and he goes.
Damn.
It's terrible, dude. Terrible.
I actually headbutted one of the catchers and split his eye open on one of my earlier fights in the house. He was stood next to me like this, and I took my first whack, and my head went whack, and it hit his head.
Oh.
I split his eye open. So I'm actually the first guy to actually get hit twice in one slap.
I like it.
And I still stayed on my feet.
That's not a record. That's not a record you want.
Did you take any damage? You get cut at all?
No, I didn't take any damage. No, I had a little red mark, but yeah, I was still good.
Man, that's a block on those shoulders right there.
Look, man, dude, we've kept you long. You're in Turkey. It's very late where you are. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much too, because like this has been an absolute pleasure.
Bless you, boys.
Dude, I can't wait.
Yeah,
like,
great
look,
talking
please
with
come back on again when you have better Wi-Fi.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. I knew the Wi-Fi was rubbish, so I just didn't want to let you boys down. You know what I mean? I was looking forward to this.
I appreciate you.
I done the best I could. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're really
great.
awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, really, really good. I want to ask you one final question before we let you go. It's a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. I'm interested to hear your answer on a scale of 1 to 10. Darren Godfrey, how happy are you?
I'm always happy, brother. 100 out of 10. Always.
Crazy. Dude.
Yeah.
Crazy. Dude, I'm glad that you're living this life, man. I'm glad that you're happy. I really appreciate you coming on because it really has clarified a few things for me too. Like I feel like the answers you've given really like help give me a different sense of it.
Brilliant.
And I guarantee you, every time Darren Godfrey gets on that goddamn power slap, I am going to tune in and I'm going to watch. And look, we always recommend people to follow our friends of the podcast, so we'll promote every single fight you have, my man.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, boys. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
right,
I'm looking forward to tuning in and watching you, man. It'll be my first one. I really appreciate you coming on. And
Legend.
Definitely get back on here.
Of course, brother.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
See you later, my friend. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Bam Bam, that is the man, Darren Godfrey. Look, I apologize that his video was not great, but he's in a Turkish hotel, living the life. This guy's traveling all around the world because he's a bloody power slap superstar. 1.4 billion hits on a video,
insane.
Bam Bam. We're almost
That's wild.
I will be so happy if we get 1.4 actual views on this video. That's how I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's definitely a fun talk for sure.
And you know what I will say, Bam Bam? He had some of the biggest engagement ever for a fighter or any of our guests coming on by quite a bit, man. Like I was struggling to find the questions that I wanted to ask, you know what I mean? But like he had a lot of engagement, dude. Like, and he's a good guy. And here's the thing, guys, go follow this guy. Look, you realize now what a cool character he is and what a good guy he is. He's only got 8,000 followers, man. So I will also say that the amount of engagement that he got based on 8,000 followers is insane. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that means he's got a strong following. Not just like people following him for the hell of it. He's got a strong following of people like backing him.
Or fake followers. Or fake followers, right? Because dude, you watch. I've got a topic that we're gonna talk about one day, which shows like different people's followers. It's fake for sure, man. There's no way these are like real people. And even sometimes, man, we have on guests that have like a big following, and it's like no engagement. So you're like, well, how's that possible?
Like, that's what I'm saying is like his followers. He must have more real followers than a lot of these people who have more because he had a lot of engagement. You can tell he's a real cool, friendly, likable guy.
Yeah.
You know, great to talk to, great personality. Dude, I'm definitely gonna have to tune in and watch him. Like
you can watch all his stuff on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like it's very cool, dude. I like it, man. I've never seen it before, obviously, but and if you
I'll definitely check it out for him to watch him. I'm interested.
If you don't watch it, you're a total sausage. That's what I know. You know what I mean? You stupid sausage. Look, guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast. We're going to get on with some other topics. Before we do, I do want to say thank you to Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.com. Go check them out. Use the code FIS May to save. It's like, look, speaking about all the craziness in Power Slap, this is for your mental focus, for your alertness, for everything in what is it? I always mess it up here. Sharper mind, lower stress, calm energy. Look, this is a good shot to take, man. If you have the chance, if you have the opportunity, go check it. Have the opportunity, go check out magicmind.com. Use FIS May. Where is it? There we go. Magic Mind. Go check it out, man. It's a one daily shot that you take. It's awesome. I do want to thank them for helping support the show. And I want to say thank you to friends of the podcast, Bam Bam.
Yes, absolutely.
Friends of the podcast. So look, what do we have here, my man? This is the big one. And I should say this later too. Well, friends of the podcast. Hold on. Let me get to a few of the ones I wanted to say as well. Friends of the podcast. Boop, 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 boop. Rageworks Podcast Network, of course, for audio podcasts. Go check out Rageworks Podcast Network, rageworksnetwork.com. We're thrilled to be a part of the Sweep the League Network and the Refocus Network. Amazing contributors there. Go check them out. Chaz Bad News Wasserman. We talked about him. He's got his BKFC fight, Bam Bam, coming up June 28th. Get on the train now. Go follow that dude. He's going to be back on the podcast before that fight. Last weekend at UFC, 2 of our former guests competed. 1 was not successful. 1 was successful. So I do want to shout out Super Sadiq Yusuf. He was in the co-main event. He unfortunately was not successful. Lost a decision. Dude, I love that guy so much. Do you know Super Sadiq Yusuf?
I personally know.
No, okay. But you know him from his fights.
Yeah.
Very cool, dude. Do you know that he is a voice actor as well, and he was a voice of a cartoon in Disney?
I actually did know that because I saw it not too long ago. With the voiceover him, and then some MMA media thing posted about it too.
Yeah.
So I actually did see that. I have not seen the movie yet.
Oh, dude, that's a good show, man. That was like a year ago, maybe.
It's a good one.
Yeah, very, very good. But I was sorry to see that he didn't win, man. He's been out for a long time. He was out for a year with surgery and an injury and stuff like that. So I know it takes a lot, and I really do hope that he's okay. It's funny, Bam Bam, because we asked a question on the podcast a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, where a person wrote into us saying that he was doing something for his high school, and that he was going to be presenting it, and he wanted you to answer a question. And it was about how do you recover from losses and things like that. It was Andrew Palco was the guy that wrote that in, and he actually sent us the clip today of what he's presenting. Very well done, man. Yeah, very well done. I'm happy for him. It was you and another UFC fighter, which I can't remember the name of right now, but really cool, man. And look, that is tough though, dude. Super Sadiq Yusuf, I love that guy. I wish him all the best. I don't want this to get him down. He's got such a positive future and all that. And that's the thing in this sport, man. Like, you're gone for a year and then you come back and you lose, and it's like it has to like impact you. So how do you get over that? How do you just get on to the next one and go, right?
Yeah. I think it's good to have the great support system that good people around you, support. Yeah. And just thankful for everything you have, and try to continue to put in the work. Really.
You're glitching out a little bit. I lost some of that.
Oh, I said just continue to put in work. Get back in the gym and try to use it as fuel. And I'm sure he will. He's a very cool, likable guy. Yeah. A very skilled fighter too. So. Yeah. I mean, I see him bouncing back and
of course
getting, back in that win column.
Of course, dude. And then Jared Flash Gordon, big guy talking about mental health and stuff like that. That dude is a huge proponent for that. He comes into the event, first round KO. So happy for that dude. And then
big KO for him.
Big KO for him. Yeah. I love that guy. He's a very good guy that I wish nothing but the best. One thing that I thought was very funny was my good friend Bobby King Green, who obviously Bobby King Green and him had a big thing where was a no contest fight that got very controversial. Yeah. Bobby King Green posts a story which then Jared Gordon shared, which is King Green, such a good guy, giving Jared so much love and saying, I always wish for your success. I'm very happy for you, whatever. I do say, Bam Bam, that's a rematch that needs to happen. And I feel like the stars are colliding for that to be a thing, right? Like both of their trajectory is pretty good, and I would like to see that rematch one day in the future because that's a big stand-up war that I want to see.
It's still very cool of King Green to reach out and give him the respect like that.
Yeah, yeah, dude. He's such a good dude, man.
Good dude.
Now, look, what are you doing on June 7th, Bam Bam? The answer. You're watching Fight League Atlantic 20, FLA 20. You know that I love these guys, man. I'm going to be there at the event. It's going to be Saturday, June 7th, Zatzman Sportsplex in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So look, if you're in Canada and you're listening to this podcast, just go book the flight now. It is so cheap to get out there. Get out there, enjoy the city, enjoy the sights, and then go for these incredible fights, man. And if you can't be there in person, order the pay-per-view. I just found out, Bam Bam, how cheap the pay-per-view is. I had no idea. I thought it was the same price as a UFC pay-per-view. I just assumed.
Yeah. You're always there, so you're not ordering the pay-per-view, right? So that's why. Yeah.
Dude, it is very affordable. And for what you get, like for what that show is and for who the fighters are, first of all, if you're Canadian, how dare you not get it? Let me just say that.
Yeah.
You guys support Canada.
Come on.
Support the locals. If you're in the East Coast Canada, you got to buy it. You know what I mean? But like, dude, it is an amazing show. FLA 20.
Good night of fights.
Incredible fights. And on that card, Bam Bam, on FLA 20, already announced, Mean Devin Turner.
Oh, nice.
Devin Turner. He's going to get that mohawk ready. He'll be there. The Mummy, Abdelaziz. He's going to be there. You know that, man. Lucas Mayhem Hammond, who was on the podcast before your time, Bam Bam, but he's fighting again out of Cape Breton. And next week's guest is a female fighter on the card, Bam Bam. We don't get a lot of female fights at FLA, not for not trying. It's just like to find the competitors. But we have Nicole McMahon. I think her nickname is Stardust, although I don't know. It's her debut fight, but on her Instagram, it goes Stardust. And that would be pretty cool if it's Nicole Stardust McMahon, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me just say, if she does not walk out to the Vince McMahon No Chance in Hell song, I will be so mad. Like, so mad if she does not use that, right? Like, I'd be playing that off.
When we talk to her, you got to let her know.
Slide that in. We'll just say, you know what we should do? We should do it before we even start the interview and go like, are you using that song? Because if not, take a hike. You know what I mean? Like,
you can just we could be done right now.
Okay. Well, one question, then you're out. No chance in hell. You got to use that song, Nicole McMahon. But yeah, so she's making her debut fight against a girl out of Ottawa, Ontario, which is right down the road from me. So Jade Dumoulin, she's gonna be fighting. She's 1-1, I think. But it's her FLA debut. So very, very exciting. Bam Bam. June 7th. Go check it out. Very, very exciting for all these things that are happening, my man. Look, here's something weird. We talked last week about PFL.
Yeah, and all the random
about all their
things.
Multitude of organizations, right? And like all these things.
Yeah.
And I was mad because I'm like, look, they're saturating the regional scene. They're going to take up all the business out of the regional markets. And I did speak to some people and they felt very similar, Bam Bam. They said, yeah, like if they create a PFL Toronto, or like even like think about it, like what if they did like a PFL California? All those MMA organizations in that California area, like you would just lose all your fighters because everyone would just go to the PFL because it's PFL.
Would it be like California specific, or would it be like a PFL West Coast or something?
Yeah, sure. Don't give them any ideas, God damn it. You know what I mean? But like, But anyways, then what I thought was so funny is on the PFL Africa card, the first card.
Yeah.
The co-main and the main event, 0 Africans.
Interesting.
So then I'm like, well, then what's the point? You know what I mean?
Are they big names though?
Oh yeah, because here you go. Boom.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of makes sense because you obviously want the main event and the co-main event, and then you have, hopefully they have a bunch of talent underneath that is from Africa and everything. Right. They're basically like holding the card together, and then you have the guys that are, kind of filling it in and getting the opportunity to eventually get to that point, right?
Oh, see, this is why you're here, because you're the positive spin on it. I was annoyed with it because I'm like, if you're, and so for those on audio only, I was just showing that Johnny Eblen is on the main event, and I believe the co-main is Dakota Decheva.
Oh,
okay. So I'm like, all right. I was like kind of stupid. Then I find out, okay, so I get your point of view. It's because, hey, but this is going to sell tickets. Then this will bring in people to support the African fighters that then fill out that card, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? Okay, fine. Well, now you've ruined my whole rant. But what I think is funny, so then this is on Saturday, July 19th. Then what I realize they've done is it's PFL Africa immediately followed by PFL Champion Series Road to Dubai, which is where the other guys are. So the PFL Africa card technically is all African fighters, and I think what they have is they have because it was so weird. I'm reading the media thing, the media release, and it goes PFL Africa, blah blah blah, headlining the night. South Africa's own Nkosi Ndebele, 8-3, faces Egypt's rising contender Mohamed Atef, blah blah blah. And then as you read down, it goes, at the top of the bill will be Johnny Eblen, and I'm like, what? You just said that's the headliner. Weird. But then that's why because then it goes, the inaugural PFL Africa will also set the scene and precede a PFL Champions Series Road to Dubai, which then has Dakota and blah blah blah.
God damn, that is fucking confusing as all hell.
Of course it's
headliner,
confusing.
This guy, but the headliner.
Of course it's confusing because it's PFL, right? And nothing can ever be simple. But that's why then on this poster here where you see it says PFL Cape Town, it's got Champion Series on the left, and then it's got PFL Africa's logo on the right. So essentially they're running two cards. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's just stupid. Yeah, I feel like it's just stupid.
But you know what I did realize? Us talking about this now. It's kind of hit me.
Why can't you get African fighters that you have, or I guess maybe you don't have any, but
yeah.
I
mean, I get it. Like I said, the main and co-main or whatever, and then fill in the card with that because obviously you wanted to sell tickets and bring in some attention.
If you're gonna do, hold on one sec. If you're gonna do the tournament, right? Like that's what the PFL Africa aspect is. It's the tournament, but then you're telling me you. Yeah. So they're doing like a tournament, like just like all their regions. It's the tournament thing, right? So the whole PFL, So the whole PFL Africa card is a tournament. Nobody cares about this band. Only you and I. But they're doing.
I didn't know that.
Bantamweight.
I thought it was literally just like fights that are happening in Africa. I didn't realize.
No. They're doing in all these regional areas. They're doing tournaments to then get the fighters that win the tournaments to then go into like the main PFL or something. I don't know. Whatever. All I'm saying is, even if you didn't have African fighters on your roster now to headline, you can't go out to regional promotions in America and find someone with African descent. You know what I mean?
The thing is, though, as people who watch MMA, they're going to know Johnny Eblen. You know what I mean?
Will they?
Some of them, I would assume. You know what I mean? They watch
sure.
Watching, but
I guess, but I'm just saying to do this kind of no, okay. Look, here's my conspiracy of the week. I should put that banner up now.
Wait. I just realized something by us talking about it now and whatever with PFL or whatever. Does it not feel like they shifted gears a little bit and changed and started doing this where they each do different regions, everything since the GFL came out and did like GFL Team London, Team whatever, Abu Dhabi and all that. And now PFL's doing like PFL Africa, PFL Central or whatever.
I don't know. It's all terrible. But my conspiracy of the week, where was I going with this? It's like you obviously knew. The problem is like if you open the PFL Africa market, shouldn't you just simply market African fighters because you thought that there was a market here? You thought that this was a sell. Like figure out how to market this without pulling in Dakota Dacheva and Johnny Eblen, and you know what I mean? Because it's also a little bit disrespectful. Because then aren't the African fighters going like, you don't think I'm enough to headline this? Like I'm a goddamn star.
Well, I think
isn't that an opportunity for you to go around America, go to some of the regional promotions, go to some of the regional promotions in England or whatever, and find people with African descent?
Well, I think they do that for the undercard.
No, I don't.
I get while having the names on the main and co-main. I 100% get that.
But look at all the backlash Drickus Duplessis gets for saying he's South African. I guess there's more to it than that, but I don't know. I can't see that the African crowd would be happy that essentially you're turning PFL Africa into a preliminary card.
I think no matter where they're gonna go, they're gonna put someone a championship title fight or whatever to draw the eyes, to draw the people, and they have them on the lower card for people from the area on the lower card. And I think honestly they look at it as like it's an opportunity to potentially get in the PFL or whatever, and maybe one day be that main event for the belt. So I don't know. I see. For me, it's not. I don't get
upset.
I guess I get it. I get the main co-main event part.
No, I hate it. But it's not. Hold on. If they had an African star, from Africa who was there, absolutely they should have had him as the main co-main. At least for sure. I think it would have been a better draw. Look, John, I get what you're saying, but but is it worse that Johnny Eblen isn't the main event of PFL Africa and that they're putting PFL Champion Series after PFL Africa? Like, and from what it sounds like, it's like immediately after. Like, you're not leaving the venue.
Is it in a different place?
No, I think it's. I don't know. I think it's in the same venue. I think it just goes right into it.
Yeah, but it's not a whole set of different fights, right? It's just those two fights. Right?
Hold on. Even stupider hold on. If what you're telling me is you think they're going to go PFL Africa, and right now they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 fights. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So you think they're going to go PFL Africa 9-fight card, which is a full fight card, and then you're going to go bloop Champion Series, and you're going to have 2 fights? Obviously, then that's the goddamn co-main and main of PFL Africa. Like, if you don't have a full card.
No, I think it is like.
It's insulting both ways, Bam Bam. It's insulting both ways. You know what if you want to bring star power, if you want to bring star power, bring some stars to the arena, or have them cut promos, or have them blah blah blah, do the media day, or do the open workout. You know what I mean? Like, have your stars there.
I don't think the PFL Champions is like an event. I think it's like
it says PFL Champion Series Road to Dubai card. Johnny Eblen versus Costello Vanstinis, and a women's co-main event, Dakota Jacheva versus Samiko Inaba. Mind you,
card, huh?
Anyways,
I think they got their wording wrong, but I don't think, from my thought process, I don't believe that it's like a card in itself. I believe that it's like a part of, or maybe the card like a long tournament style thing. I don't fucking know, whatever.
No, dude. Anyways, it's ridiculous and it's garbage. And
what's the conspiracy?
My conspiracy is, I don't know, but there's a conspiracy here that we need to figure out. We need to figure.
Dang it!
I don't know how to phrase the conspiracy, but PFL was not confident enough in PFL Africa to let it stand alone. So now you bring in these people, but you also knew I shouldn't put these people on the PFL Africa card. So instead, you make a separate card, which at this point is 2 fights. It can't be.
I think
it's just weird.
Like I said. So like when they go to one of these other ones that PFL has, little branches or whatever, I guess we'll see if they do the same thing where they have.
Of course they won't.
Fights. You don't think so?
You think that when we do PFL Pacific or whatever, which is the Australian one, that they're going to do PFL Pacific and then they're going to slap on 2 other fights? No.
Yeah.
No freaking way.
They'll do like the champion, whatever, champ series or whatever the fuck it's called or whatever, and they'll be main and co-main, and then underneath will be all.
No, I do not believe that's going to happen. And what's even weirder here is that the Johnny Eblen fight is a middleweight world championship main event. What middleweight championship? The Bellator one? Dude, can you imagine if he's defending the Bellator title?
Wait a minute. They have a middle. They don't. Oh, that's new, right? They didn't have middleweight before.
What?
PFL didn't have middleweight before. They just started it this season or this time.
It says Eblen will look to keep his undefeated record intact and his world championship by his side.
Okay, well,
hold on. Okay, no, but hold on. Maybe PFL didn't have that, but
yeah, PFL didn't. Yeah,
but Bellator did.
Yeah. So what? The hell
He is the hold on. Yeah, he is the Bellator middleweight world champion.
Yeah.
Last defended October 2024. So, I mean, holy crap! I think he's defending his Bellator title.
No way! If they do the same thing that they did with Hughes and
the other guy,
Magomedov. Is that what it was? Is that his last?
No,
is that
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No,
Usman. Whatever. Yeah. It's getting racist if you can't figure it out.
Usman Magomedov. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when they fought, I mean, it was for the belt.
So ridiculous.
Bellator was gone. It was for PFL, and he literally gave him back the Bellator belt, and then is he not the PFL champion? It's just like re-securing that he's the last Bellator champion. I don't know. It's so
like you
weird.
like Eblen might as well fight for the blockbuster championship. You know what I mean? Like just go to some company that doesn't exist.
I mean, hopefully, like they're actually like new. This is the new PFL middleweight champion because they didn't have a middleweight before.
Nope.
And
because no way.
But they're not specifying that either. So
no friggin' chance. Because then the press release would say for the inaugural.
They're doing a tournament right now.
But the tournament doesn't crown the champion. The tournament is the champion of the tournament. It's like a Grand Prix belt, right? That's not the belt.
Okay.
And they've never said that that's for the belt. No.
Okay, that's weird.
Now, who I want to see too. Hold on, one quick sec. I'm going to see who is Costello Vanstinis.
Well, then it sounds like we need to get Johnny Eblen on here and ask him which belt he's fighting for.
I have tried. Can you reach out to that guy? Okay, Costello Vanstinis, the Spaniard. That's who he's fighting. He fought one fight in PFL. He got a head kick KO in November of 2024. Before that, he was a Bellator guy. Okay. So he won. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Before that, he lost to Douglas Lima. He beat Gregory Babine, Camille Oniezkuk, Fabian. Oh, he defeated Fabian Edwards by a split decision. So yeah, man, this guy's a good guy, but he's a Bellator guy. Yep.
Yeah.
So he's a Bellator guy with one PFL fight, and now he's fighting Johnny Eblen for the title. But what title that is, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hold on. On Tapology, it says Johnny Eblen versus this guy. Event PFL Champion Series. Stat title belt. Bellator Middleweight Championship. No freaking way. No freaking way do they fight for the Bellator.
They're gonna do it like the freaking Hughes Magomedov. That's so crazy. Like, why?
Dude, that is insane.
How does that make sense? That makes no sense.
Maybe Tapology is wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the press release is wrong.
Eblen trains at American Top Team, right?
Yes. Which people are also upset that PFL moved this event to whatever date this is, July 19th or whatever it is. Which, yeah, because it was a different date. I think they just moved it. That was what the picture was that I showed you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Now I got this banner here. Hold on. moved it to July 19th. That's the new date. Apparently, that's also the date of UFC 318, which is where his teammate Dustin Poirier is fighting. And Dustin Poirier trains at the same place. So the coaches aren't even going to be able to be with Eblen because they'll be with Poirier. Not only is it also UFC 318, but it's also the date of a boxing event between Usyk versus Dubois, which is a big boxing event. So they're like, you are killing this event because you're putting it on a very heavy night.
Yeah, ballsy.
Now, I don't know what time is it in Africa. I mean, I guess that might be the other thing, is that maybe it will be
during the day
like,
here.
For us, for us in the West, it will be during the day, so it won't completely overlap. But good luck. Anyways, total disaster, Bam Bam. Total disaster.
I'm gonna try to get some insight. If he trains the American Top Team, I'll ask some buddies of mine who train over there.
Go get Johnny Eblen.
Get Johnny Eblen on the podcast.
Please,
if not, at the very least, I'll get some clarification on the belt he's fighting for.
No, I don't want clarification. I want Johnny Eblen on this podcast.
I'll do my best.
Bam Bam, do your best. Your mic has now suddenly improved 1,000-fold right at the end of the podcast.
Why didn't you tell me?
What did you just do?
I moved it. I moved it.
Oh my god.
My mustache and my beard and moved it out of the way a little bit. Why did you tell me? The beard wasn't
terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was just a little bit thing.
Oh,
let's call Darren Godfrey back. We'll re-record and we'll get back.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Also,
I'm sure
also your background is absent.
Phenomenal, right?
I can see it in the corner. Look,
it's hot here.
Okay. Look, dude, we are out of here, man. Bam Bam, good episode. Great talk with Darren Godfrey, man. What a good dude. And look, we're out of here. Next week, Nicole Stardust McMahon, No Chance in Hell. Oh, that could be her nickname. Nicole No Chance in Hell McMahon. That'd be pretty good too.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, we'll think it up. All right, my friend. We're out of here.
All right.
You know what I want to start doing? I want to start doing tier lists. Do you know that? That's what like nerds do all the time. They do tier lists. Have you ever seen that?
Of what?
Well, we could do it of commentators, of fighters, of whatever. Like we could do like a whole bunch of different things.
Our old ranking, our own little ranking system.
Yeah, like our own, tier list of goats or, whatever.
All right, so then you'd have to have yours. I'd have to have mine.
Well, we work on it together.
Okay.
I just got to figure out how to do that on the screen. So I'm going to go talk to my friend and see if he can help me figure out how to do it because I work off of one screen here. I think I might need like 2 computer screens, but
yeah.
I'll see what we can do. All right, my friend. That's it. We're out of here.
Right. Cool. It was a good podcast.
See you later.
Bye.